We're kind of winging it as we went, so sorry to get to say anything before we started. We're going to let Jazz 1 move off the stage. Next we'll get to hear from our Packer Jazz combo. They just have one tune for you today, one short tune coming up from Packer Jazz. Once again, a few soloists with Jazz 1. One more round of applause, please, for Ruben Dries, Felicia Timish, Brooklyn Meyer, and Callie Hillman with solos. Some of you got to hear Jazz 1 play last Sunday at our jazz show with a much bigger set of music, and we wanted to give you just a taste of some of the stuff that we worked on this year with that group. They did a great job this year. They also got to perform at the Head of the Lakes Jazz Festival in Duluth a few months ago and had a really great experience with that. We're going to flip things over one tune here from Packer Jazz, and then we'll get into our larger ensembles. Good evening, and once again, welcome to tonight's Band Blast concert. Tonight's concert is a culmination of a lot of hard work from a lot of groups, not just work over the last few weeks or a couple months, but hard work over the entire school year, and for many students, the last 8 years, as we'll find out when we meet some of our seniors a little bit later. We're going to switch things into the concert band portion of the program. This is concert band, mostly ninth grade group. They've been a great group to work with. I get to see them second hour near the beginning of the day, every day. And we've been working on many, many skills through the year. And we've got some music for you tonight that will show off really all of those skills. Things we worked on with notes and range, things we worked on with rhythm and timing, things we worked on with articulation and how the beginning of our notes sound, and things that we worked on with how we sound as a large ensemble altogether. So the first piece that concert band is going to perform is called Incantation and Shadow Dance. The composer wrote this piece thinking about a scene in the play Macbeth by Shakespeare where some witches appear. And so it starts with kind of like a slow sound that sounds kind of like a medieval chanting before suddenly and unexpectedly moving into a faster type of sound, faster, mysterious, with lots of surprises that come up through it. This is Incantation and Shadow Dance. We have a few people that need to move a few things around for the next piece, so while they're getting adjusted and set for the next piece, I'll tell you a little bit about what they're going to play. In your program, near the beginning, there's a list of what we're playing, but a little bit further in, there are some notes on some of the pieces if you'd like to learn more of the history and background of some of the music that we're going to be performing tonight. The next piece is a medley of music from the movie The Lion King, which at the time smashed a lot of box office records for animated films. They created new technology that didn't exist yet to make the film. If you imagine, some of the things in that movie being made with early 1990s computers, there are some scenes that took animators several years to put together because they were developing the technology as they created it. But along the way, they also worked with Elton John and Tim Rice to make some incredible music and incredibly catchy songs. Familiar songs for a lot of people as well. Whether you were a kid in that era or you were a parent in that era with kids watching the movie, or even today, a lot of people still watch The Lion King because of this catchy music that's in it. So we have a medley of music from The Lion King. It's a pretty substantial piece of music. I've only done it with a 9th grade band once in my teaching career before, and my hat's off to the students behind us for their work to prepare and learn this piece and all the challenges that are in it. So this is Disney's Lion King. We're welcoming Symphonic Band to the stage. Symphonic Band is a mix of 10th through 12th graders, heavy on the 10th grade side of it, but some juniors and seniors in this group as well. Symphonic Band rehearses the last hour of the day, which has been a little bit of a challenge for us this spring. I believe at my last count, in the last 4 weeks, we've had 240 absences from this class, so we have not yet heard what these pieces are going to sound like with all of us here on the same day. So we've been working in groups, and whoever is here, we've been getting a lot done, and they've made some great progress, but this will be a first for us as well, getting to put these two pieces together with all of us at the same time. The first piece is a familiar title. Some people are familiar with the original Disney Fantasia film, which featured classical music with a lot of clips by Walt Disney and his animators making little stories. And then they created a sequel in 1999 titled Fantasia 2000. It was released right at the end of 1999. Had one of the original clips left in, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, which you'll hear second here, and then a series of other pieces with anything from abstract artwork to short story types of tales spliced together into a full-length feature film. So enjoy some familiar music, I think, but imagine it set to Disney film. This is Fantasia 2000. As you likely noticed, we had the screen drop down in the middle of that performance. I guarantee it was not a mistake, but it was setting us up for our next piece. We've been working very hard on this piece, partly to learn the music and partly to get our timing down, because we have a video that goes with this one, and our goal is to see how close we can line up the different tunes with the different parts of it. It's a 4.5-minute version of Beauty and the Beast with some highlights from the film in it. We've been working a lot just the last 2 weeks on tempo, getting things up to speed even after we had our music learned. So I hope we enjoy it, and we hope our timing lines up, and I think it really will. This is Beauty and the Beast. this point. At this point in the program, we'd like to welcome Sue Radloff on behalf of the Austin Music Hall of Fame.
Good evening. I'm so happy to be here, and I want to introduce to you the three newest members, inductees into our Hall of Fame. Just to give you a brief background, it was started in 2009 by educator Ken Jensen, and it's continued, except for COVID, since then. We've awarded around 3 people each year. And it's a way of recognizing outstanding people in the music field. And Austin has been known for having a lot of good graduates, and they have to be outstanding in either or, performing, educating, and in the music industry. So we have 3 wonderful candidates, and I'm going to just give you, before I do that, I wanted to tell you that we have all the pictures of them posted out to would be my left or your right. So when you go, be sure you look tonight to see all the pictures of the people that we've awarded in the past, because we do have quite a lineup. And maybe someday some of you might be up there. You just never know. So we hope that by presenting it during your concert, because we love to hear you young people play, and we hope that you'll all go on and continue music in your lives as well. So our first one is Patricia Nelson Meisel, and she was in the class of 1955. And just a minute, I'm gonna put my glasses on. And she played viola in the orchestra. She was in a string quartet and had Gene Miller in her middle school years. And she had the honor of performing at a music educators national convention in Cleveland, Ohio in her senior year. That kind of helped her decide that she really liked music. So she got both her her bachelor's and master's degree from Drake University. And she did many other things. I won't go on all of those wonderful things, but she did teach at Des Moines, Iowa Public Schools, at Drake University, and in the Albert Lee and Austin Public Schools for many years. And she was a private instructor of stringed instruments in Owatonna for more than 50 years. So we're very honored to have Pat Meisel here today, and she is over here, and I would like to have her stand and you to recognize her. Pat? Our second inductee is Barry Rush, and he was in the class of 1960. He started at an early age with guitar lessons at the age of 9, but when he got to, I think it was 9th grade, he added tuba, and he played in all of the school bands, you know, as he went through, and he had a famous conductor, or director, was C. Vittorio Sperati, who was a very well-known gentleman that used to teach at this school. And he also had Paul Heltney for the orchestra. He played in that. And he sang in the chorus and the Austin airs under Wilbur Funk. So he was involved in all the music programs while he went to school here. He played in many bands over the years. I won't mention all of them, but he just dozens and dozens of different kinds of bands, Dixieland, jazz, all kinds of country and really great bands. He graduated from Mankato State College in 1966, and he worked in the Hormel sales department for his career in both Michigan and in Boston. But even while he was working for Hormel's, he continued his music and played in many bands then. He retired in 2003, and he is lucky he has returned to Austin, and a lot of you might have heard of his band. He has a band called Rush Hour that performs still quite frequently. So I want you to honor Barry Rush. And our third inductee Brian Christensen from the class of 1997. He started violin at a very early age because he had a grandfather, Earl, that played, and his mother was a singer, so he had a lot of music at home. And he learned fiddle when he was very young, at the age of 8. He also played all the way through school and had both Mr. Burkhardt and I as teachers, and Sylvia Davis was also one of his instructors. He graduated from, he went to the Red Wing Stringed Instrument Repair School, college, which is a very renowned music repair shop that he studied with. He became a luthier and could make and repair instruments, and he moved to Nashville, Tennessee, where he worked in a shop fixing instruments, but he also continued playing his music and was known in the Grand Ole Opry, which is the longest continuous radio show, I think, in the whole United States. And for 17 years, he played in the Grand Ole Opry, and which I think is just amazing. But he had many awards. I won't go into all of those, but he did, he won lots of things and recorded and played in many bands. But lucky for us, he moved back to Austin just in the last couple of years, and he still loves to work with music, and he has a violin shop at his house now where he repairs instruments, and I got to see his first violin that he finished making. It's a beauty, and I hope you all get to see it sometime. He's also making instruments. And he lives in Austin with his wife Nicole and his daughter Elsie. So please honor Brian Christensen. Thank you for allowing me to present these people. I'm very proud of the fact that we have a Music Hall of Fame, and continue your concert. Thank you.
We are now welcoming Wind Ensemble to the stage. Welcoming Wind Ensemble to the stage. We have two pieces for you today. I'll tell you a little bit about the second one when we get there. The first piece will be a familiar theme song. The composer of the original theme, Lalo Schifrin, was somebody who is fluent in Morse code. And the initials of the TV series were MI, and so he used the Morse code for M, which is 2 longs, and I, which is 2 shorts. So 2 dashes, 2 dots, to create a rhythm that went long, long, short, short, long, long, short, short, and you'll hear that immediately. Once we get started, you'll probably recognize this tune immediately from Mission Impossible, from the TV series in the late 1960s and 70s that ran for 7 seasons, and then a reboot in 1998 that ran for a couple seasons, and now over the last 30 years, Tom Cruise has been making movies with, I'm stalling for a moment. The final installment of Mission Impossible is coming out next Friday to theaters, so it seemed timely to play some of the original theme music from Mission Impossible, as well as some of the themes from the first Tom Cruise movie mixed into the medley. Our second piece that we'll play after Mission Impossible, there are some notes in the program describing it. It's a programmatic piece. The second piece we'll play is titled "The Witch and the Saint." It comes from an ancient German legend or tale set in the year 1588, following twin sisters. And I'll tell you a little bit more as we get there, but you can start to imagine twin sisters that were born, which at the time was considered to be a bad omen, but along the way, they discover that both of the sisters had the ability to see into the future and predict future events. But in that time period, in the 1500s, they assumed that there were only 2 reasons that you'd be able to see into the future. You were either a witch or you were a saint. And the people decided that each of the sisters, one of them must be a saint, one of them must be a witch, and they were treated like that for their whole life in the legend. And we'll learn a little bit about it as we get to the piece. I'm gonna check in with one ensemble, and we will probably play Mission Impossible. The second piece that Wind Ensemble is going to perform, as mentioned, is called The Witch and the Saint. So we have the two characters, the two sisters that one is believed, one named Helena is believed to be a saint because she can see into the future. Sibylla is believed to be a witch because she can see into the future. As they live their life, they face a lot of turmoil and a lot of challenges because they're thought to be something that they aren't. For both of them, it's a challenge, but for different reasons. The piece opens with a theme for the two sisters. We kind of called it the sisters theme, a medieval sounding, Gregorian chant sounding opening where the sisters theme is introduced by a solo baritone and a solo horn, with Madison on baritone representing Helena, who's thought to be, or Sibylla, who's thought to be the witch, and Julia representing Helena, who's thought to be the saint. And as we go through the piece, that theme comes up at other times. As we hear a bit of Sibylla's theme. It sounds like a horse, someone riding a horse, because she's constantly running, constantly being chased to escape. We hear Sibylla's theme, kind of a smooth, or Helena's theme, smooth, faintly sounding, smooth, soft type of theme. Eventually we hear some of the challenges they face in their lives. Eventually, as we get farther into the story, Sibylla is captured and taken to prison where she believes she's likely to be executed, but just in time, she's rescued by her sister Helena, who risks her reputation as a saint to go rescue her sister. They escape briefly, but then are caught again, and both of them are imprisoned. Helena realizes that as someone who was trying to break a so-called witch out of prison, that she will likely get an equal punishment, if not worse. And as the story ends, you'll hear one of the sisters dies, and the other one rides off in sorrow. And at the very end of the piece, we hear the sisters' theme again, but there's only one instrument playing it because only one of them has escaped. And you'll find out when we get there which one it is. Thank you. We'll switch now to our senior song. As we're switching, I'll mention that this piece that we just played, The Witch and the Saint, has a lot of musical stuff in it. That was one of the pieces that we performed at this year's Big Nine Music Festival. It was the last piece of the festival. We were the last band to play. It was a great way to end the festival for all of the other students there listening to us, and for our students who got to play on it as well. We'll switch over to our senior song. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about these seniors after this song, but we're so excited to have this group of seniors. They braved a lot of things through their time when they were younger, working their way through 7th and 8th grade during the peak of the pandemic. When they came into 9th grade, and the first time I got to work with them, the last time they'd gotten to play together was their holiday concert in 7th grade. And then schools shut down the week before they were supposed to get their March concert in 2020. So we had a lot of work cut out for us to learn how to play in an ensemble again, to play together with other people, with a full-size band in 9th grade, and they've really done some impressive work to work up to that along the way. We've added a few people along the way who have joined us through the years as well. And when we looked at different pieces that we wanted to play for our senior song, well, you see a slideshow of them. There's a piece, well, there were two pieces that came to the top of the list, and this was the one that ended up being, it's one that they played in 6th grade, titled Revenge of the Dust Bunnies. If you can imagine big clumps of dust and debris and hair underneath your bed, maybe coming to life or something like that. It was a piece that they performed with Mr. Whitekin when they were 6th graders, and we'll have him as a guest soloist partway through the song as well. This is the seniors with their favorite 6th grade song, Revenge of the Dust Bunnies. Brooklyn says to mention that in the song, the dust bunnies come after them and come chasing them, and they need a hero to save them. Well, before our final piece of music, I get to tell you a little bit about each of our seniors and present a couple final awards for some of them, some very special awards. As mentioned, this has been a special group of seniors who worked and stuck with band through some of the most challenging years of middle school that anyone has ever faced. And for them to continue to play their instruments, continue to want to work together, and to continue to play at this high level that they've been doing this year and throughout their 8 years as musicians, as instrumental musicians, is very exciting. So I will tell you a little bit about the seniors. We will start with our two symphonic band seniors, Joe and Michaela, and I'm going to tell you about both of them together because they often are seen together, starting with Joe. Joe will get her stuff first, and then Michaela. Joe and Michaela have really become leaders in our symphonic band this year, getting to play for a third year in symphonic band. They know what to expect, they know what to do, and they have done a great job leading the other people in their sections and helping bring younger musicians along and helping younger musicians see what it is to be high school musicians. Joe and Michaela. And our wind ensemble seniors, I'll announce in instrument order because that's how things are organized in my brain. So I'll be going down from flutes through woodwinds, through brass to percussion, just because that's the way that I think. So I'll start with Emma Stanley. Emma has received many accolades for her flute playing, Best in Sight performances, an all-state recognition, and all-state alternate as well. But most importantly, she's known as kind and thoughtful and someone who cares about the people around her. Emma Stanley. Next up is Abby Brand. Abby joined us coming in ninth grade, and something that she was known for was playing lots of duets with Dina all through, even for many, many years. And she's somebody who's been known by all students as a very kind and caring person. Abby Brand. Next is our piccolo player, Callie Potter. Callie's been one of our band officers, and something that has stood out for her is the way she has challenged herself. Which she starts with things that are her strengths, but then finds things that are more challenging for her and works on them until they become strengths. I think that's something both in music and in life. Callie Potter. Next is Zoe Kiwat. Zoe is someone who is very observant and thoughtful. She notices everything that's going on around her, and she's planning to go into the education field to work as a speech and language pathologist, and I think she'll be an excellent addition to whatever school she works at in the future. Zoe Kiwat. From our clarinet section, first is Dina. Dina has become a leader because she had to. In 10th grade, she came into wind ensemble with a huge group of seniors, and the next year they were all gone, and she realized that it had to be her because there was nobody else. And she took on that role both in band and in orchestra, becoming a quick leader and working very, very hard. She has really risen to the occasion. Dina Diego Felipe. Next up is Marissa Schutz. Marissa is someone who has tried anything that we've asked her to do and worked up to it, whether it's testing a new reed or a new mouthpiece or learning to play E-flat clarinet this year for one of our pieces that we needed it on. Marissa has worked to excel in anything that she does. Marissa Schutz. Madison Doyle was new to Austin Public Schools this year, but she's been a great addition to our music program. She can do anything, and she'll take the time to work and learn to do anything. She's played clarinet, flute, baritone, valve trombone, bass guitar, and string bass in orchestra, and she's just happy to do whatever we need, and it's been huge as you've heard her play tonight. Madison Doyle. Our bass clarinet senior this year is Ava. Ava is somebody who has gained a lot of confidence, and I've been excited to see her growth throughout her time in high school, both as a person and as a musician. I think if I had told Ava 4 years ago that I was going to make her play a solo in the last piece she played with Wind Ensemble, she probably would have thought we were crazy. But she did it, and I'm very impressed with her growth and confidence. Ava Lopez. In our saxophone section, Brooklyn is someone who truly embodies the idea that band is life. For Brooklyn, I think band is a mirror of life. As she has grown, she's become confident. She's worked through difficult things and through easy things, and band really embodies a lot of both of those things for her. Congratulations, Brooklyn Meyer. Our tenor saxophone player is Callie Hillman. Callie's another student who found what her biggest challenges were early on, rhythm and tone, and continued working on those things until they were strengths. I think that really shows what she's done in life. She finds challenges and works on them until they become easy and until they become strengths. Callie Hillman. Moving into our trumpet section, Liam Wynn. Liam is somebody who does a lot of musical things beyond band, and this year I've gotten to see some of those things. He creates a lot of his own music, a lot of digital music, and has some things out on some streaming platforms, and does a lot of DJ type of music as well. So if you're curious to know more about that, ask him about it. I think someday he'll probably do some great things with music, maybe not in the band world, but certainly with other things in music. Liam Wynn. In our horn section, our band president, Haley Meyer, and our drum major as well from last summer. Haley is somebody who has come into a lot of things with the attitude that if something's worth doing, it's worth taking the time to do it well. She earned all-state recognition in band and is planning to become a future music educator. Congratulations to Haley Meyer. Also in our horn section is Julia Rye. Julia joined us coming from Hollandale School in 9th grade and quickly discovered that playing in band was a great place to connect with people and meet people and build some friendships with people that she would see all through her 4 years here. I've been amazed to see her confidence and her growth as a musician and in her playing, as well as her growth as a person as she's worked alongside some of these other musicians. Julia Rye. Moving into our low brass section with Brian. Brian is someone who will do whatever is needed. At first that meant mostly playing tuba. This year it meant learning to play bass trombone because we needed another trombone player. He joined choir because they needed more low voices. He joined jazz band because we needed somebody to fill in. He's joined theater and speech. And that's really something that he does all through life is find where there's a need and jump it and fill it. Brian Cruz Vasquez. Also in our tuba section is Matthew. Matthew played in both bands this year, simply because playing in a second band seemed like the most interesting elective he could take to fill out his schedule. He's really come into band with kind of an attitude of, oh, there's something going on for band? I'll be there. And I think that's really been a great way to describe what he does is show up for whatever we need him for. Matt Simpson. In our percussion section is Peyton Johnson. Peyton has always kind of had the mindset of nothing is too hard, just learn it all, do it all. She's played drum set, snare drum, timpani, large 4 mallet pieces, basically anything we need, anything we ask her to do, Peyton has done it. Congratulations, Peyton Johnson. One more clarinet player as well is Nadia Hummel. Nadia is someone who has grown immensely in confidence over her time playing in band. I know when she was in 9th grade, she was considering whether she wanted to continue with music or go on to other things. She stuck with it, and eventually she decided to audition for Wind Ensemble. It was a big challenge for her, but she continued working up to it. Arrived in Wind Ensemble, not sure of what would happen next, and eventually has risen to become a leader and one of our band officers. Congratulations, Nadia Hummel. Congratulations again to the band seniors of 2025. Finally, before our last piece, I have a few individual awards to present to seniors who have really gone above and beyond what has been asked of them and required of them. Seniors who have done some really incredible things, but not just musically, but as people and as leaders and as people who have, as students who have brought others along with them. I'll start with our John Philip Sousa Award, which is nationally recognized as the big award that every band program gives. The certificate says, in recognition of outstanding achievement and interest in instrumental music, for singular merit in loyalty and cooperation, and for displaying those high qualities of conduct that school instrumental music requires. This is an award that goes beyond musical skill, it includes musicianship, but it goes to a student who helps people around them improve as musicians, and as people, as someone who jumps in to lead when things are needed, someone who serves their community when things are needed. This student was selected by the seniors in Wind Ensemble, and I absolutely agree with their decision. Please help me congratulate Emma Stanley. Next is our Louis Armstrong Jazz Award. This is also a national award that is presented at any school that has a jazz program in honor of Louis Armstrong, the great jazz musician. And in the same way, a student who has helped others around them while also performing a lot of solos and a lot of challenges throughout their time in jazz band. This award was voted on by all of the members of Jazz One. Please help me congratulate Haley Meyer. Next, I'd like to welcome Erin Grush to come up. Erin is presenting on behalf of McPhail Center for Music.
Hi, my name is Erin Grush, and I get the privilege of presenting the McPhail Outstanding Student Award. I've known this student, and I've had the privilege of teaching her for the last 10 years. In that time, she has exemplified what it means to be a dedicated learner. She always comes prepared. She doesn't shy away from asking questions to help her progress. She doesn't allow excuses or disappointments to hold her back. It's been a joy to watch her grow, and I know that she will continue to do great things. It is my pleasure to present the 2025 Outstanding McPhail Student Award to Emma Stanley.
Next, I'd like to welcome Mr. Race Hardy and Danny Music up. As some of you know, 3 or 4 years ago, they worked together to create a scholarship in memory of Conrad Music, and I'll let them tell you a little bit more about this scholarship as they present it.
Hey, thanks for being here tonight. You people who showed up for this concert, it's really appreciated. The amount of work that goes into putting a concert together is way understated and is a remarkable accomplishment, so thanks. And thanks to all the musicians here that shared all your hard work and talents with us. I was lucky enough to grow up in Austin with, hands down, Austin is the music mecca. If you don't believe that, get out more and see. There's nothing like this. I had Mr. Dunlap, I had Mr. Coleman, Mr. Tedrow, and Mr. Music. And I do not have enough words, and I'm sure you're thanking me for that, to explain what those people did for me. But there's a couple people seated right over here, Sue Radloff and Tim Davis, which are just living examples now of what those 4 people did for me and thousands of other people, and they're doing for people right now. So thanks to you two. And if I'm missing other people I can't see right now with the light, but I saw them walking down. But it's unbelievable what this does. So just a little fact for you, physiological fact. When you play an instrument, your visual, whether you're blind or have sight, it's still activated. Sound is activated in your brain. Movement is activated, and memory is activated. And after that, the only thing that's left in your brain is the part that works whether you want it to or not. So in other words, all of your voluntary parts of your brain are activated by playing an instrument. So I'm a taxpayer. I just forked out $2,005 for my May payment. So I understand what it means, but do not, please do not do anything but support music. Because again, there is nothing that your brain does that music doesn't activate. Okay, I'm all done with that now. This girl has tried to avoid me all year. She didn't have government with me. She didn't have economics with me, but you can't run, Zoe. This first half of our scholarship in honor of Danny's dad, Conrad Music, one of the greatest music humans in the history of the earth, is for Zoe. Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Race.
That's tough to follow, dude, on anybody's account. I don't know how to do it, but before I go on, a couple people I'd like to thank real quick. First of all, I don't know if I've actually ever thanked Mr. Dundas for allowing us to come and do this, and we really very much appreciate that. And the second person I need to thank is Ray's Hardy. When he came up with this, I think it's about 4 years ago now, he called me and asked me if he could do this. I tell this story every year, but I'll tell it one more time. And he told me what he wanted to do and what a difference my father had made in his life. For whatever reasons, those are his reasons, and I did not ask, and I think it was wonderful. He said, Danny, I want to do a scholarship. I said, that's great, that's cool, okay. Most people would expect the family to do that. It's an easy thing, right? Your father, who was a teacher, dies, you do a scholarship. That's the thing, right? We didn't. So when somebody stepped up out of the shadows to do it, it meant so much more. So I thought about a little while longer. I said, you know what, Race? I'll double it, and I'll go in with you, and we'll do it. So we have 2 $500 scholarships, and we are absolutely proud to do it and wonderful to do it. So I'll tell you just a quick thing. Growing up, this was my sandbox. This building and the annex were my sandbox. Phil Burkhart is here, and he can testify to it, right? This is where I grew up playing. Yeah, I had younger friends my own age, but this is where I grew up playing. And that's how I met guys like Race and all the other people that age that I idolized because they were older than me, but I had so much respect for them, and I watched how they were able to communicate with my father, and my father, and they had a good working relationship, let's say. Maybe that's why I ended up marrying a woman 6 years older than I am. I don't know, but that's a whole different story. Anyway, I just nothing but appreciate Race and all that he has done for my family, and we are eternally grateful. So one more time, thank you, Race Hardy. So with that in mind, the second recipient of the Conrad Music Scholarship, I'm still having trouble realizing she's a senior. I don't think she is. She can't be, because the last time I saw her, she was this tall. Her family grew up down the street from where my wife and I used to live, and my daughter was good friends with her sister, and I think there was a time where my daughter spent more time with their family than she actually spent with us. She was gone for days on end, but it was okay, because she was with this family. They are great people. Brooklyn Meyer, come on up.
One final award is voted on by all of the students in band, every grade. And I tell the students every year as they're voting that the Band Spirit Award is about spirit, excitement, and fun. There's nothing in this award that has anything to do with anyone's playing or work that way. It's who makes band fun for you and who inspires you and makes you want to come back come back the next day to play in band. And I have 2 quick things to say about this before I announce the winner. First of all, one thing that I was very excited about is every single senior on this stage got at least 1 vote for this award this year. You all inspire at least someone in band. Secondly, I want to mention that in second place for this award, we had a 6-way tie, but there was 1 clear winner. But a 6-way tie for second, and I think it warrants mentioning these 6 people. Sorry, it means you didn't get the award, but that you inspired 7 people. We had a 6-way tie for second with 7 votes apiece. Callie, Zoe, Marissa, Haley, Michaela, and Peyton. Congratulations. And finally, this year's Band Spirit Award winner, who brings the spirit, excitement, and fun to band for the students in all grades, please help me congratulate Matthew Simpson. With that, We'll invite our seniors to find your spots for the finale piece. We'll have a quick adjustment as we set one more half row of chairs, and we will end our concert with one final piece. But it looks like the seniors want to say something first. They're looking hungrily at this microphone. I'll get out of the way.
Hello, my name is Haley. I'm this year's band president. Congratulations, all of you. It's been so fun to play with you for the past 4 years. I'm going to try really hard not to cry while I'm saying all of this. Well, all of these people are amazing. We could not come as far as we have without Mr. Dundas. So the seniors have put together a little something to recognize him and thank him for all he's done for us. So we have a box of a couple small gifts, and I was nominated to say the first two because they're both jazz band jokes. So if any of you came to our jazz show, we played one of the pieces tonight, but our kind of running theme this year has been Flying Moon Chameleons, because that's the music that we took to our jazz festival. So Brooklyn wanted to make something for the project, so we present you a Flying Moon Chameleon. We decided that his name is Zoot. His name is Zoot. The other part of this is it's signed by all of us, but it's mostly a jazz joke because it happens a lot at all of our concerts. If you don't know, Mr. Dundas is colorblind. So at every single concert, he has to ask, is this mic on? So we present you a colorblind test poster. Can you read it? Can you say it? Cool, great. And the entire class of 2025 band seniors have signed it.
Hi, I'm Nadia Hummel. I am the band vice president this year, and I have the honor of awarding you a little trophy that we got personalized for you that says #1 Dundad of all time. You have inspired all of us. You have pushed us to our limits in the best way possible. And on a personal note, you have been the single most helpful in advocating for my physical abilities, and I personally want to thank you for that. And I know that every single senior here can attest to that on some account. So this is for you as well. So Dundas, we had to get you something that you could share with your whole family. And I see them saying yes. I know you guys well. So we know how expensive food is getting recently. So all of the seniors pitched in, and we got you and your family a $100 Applebee's gift card.
I got the order wrong, my bad. So we wanted to leave this one for the last part of the gift basket because it is, I might start crying talking about it, but it's kind of the most important one. It's from us 4 band officers pitched in to get it. If you were at the fall band concert this past October, you were able to hear the Ellis Band play the piece that was written for Adelia. So I had this idea and I got this just in time. It came yesterday. But we took the sound file of them playing this piece at the past concert and created it into something you could put at your desk or at home. And if you notice at the bottom, it says "with infectious enthusiasm," which is the tempo marking for this piece because it's how Adelia lived her life. And it also has a QR code to just that section of that concert. And then to carry on our yearly tradition of a senior board for the yearly classes, we have a little senior board here that you can hang in the band room. thank you so much for all you've done, for all your years that you've had, and especially for this one. We all really appreciate it. Thank you.
I promise this is the last one. So, as all of you heard, we just played Revenge of the Dust Bunnies, and as Mr. Dundas said, we played that our 6th grade year. But as one last gift for Dundas, I would like to introduce it using some of your own words. He said this to me. No, stay right here. After he made the trumpets blast in wind ensemble, he said, "That was revenge on the piccolo player." So as our revenge upon you, Mr. Dundas, we thought we'd bring out our own dust bunny.
This is Marimba. She's about 4 months old and she's a sweetheart. Unfortunately, we can't force him to take her home, but I don't know, his kids might convince him.
Thank you everyone for attending tonight, and congratulations again to the class of 2025.
Our final piece this evening, featuring the students from all of the bands that you heard tonight, is our own medley that we put together, mashing up a couple different things that seem unrelated but fit together nicely in a set. We opened with some of the beginning music and some of the main themes from the Hunger Games, and suddenly transform and go into ending our concert with music from How to Train Your Dragon, which is something that a lot of students have been asking for several years. So we decided this is the year we'll do it. Please enjoy our concert finale, and thank you again so much for coming this evening.